This is Rockin' for God, and this is Lisa Marie Nicole. Let's rock. There's a light at the end of... Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the award-winning Rockin' for God podcast. I am your host, Lisa Marie Nicole. Today is Sunday, November 23rd, and I have a great show for you tonight. But first, I have a few announcements. Rockin' for God show is brought to you by the Four Persons Network and Lisa Marie Nicole Music. I have a book signing on Friday, December 5th at 10 a.m. at Lake Regions Library in Inverness, Florida, if you're in the area. My new song, Make the World a Better Place, will be released in January. I don't have a date yet, but when I do, I will post it. Today's prayer list is for Janet Giesling and John Drummond. Please keep them in your prayers. Next week is my live Advent show. I will sing live music and have on a few guests. I have John Benko and Terry Delp from the Four Persons. They will be on to talk about the meaning of Advent. And stick around at the end of this week's show because I'm going to play one of my award-winning songs at the end of the show and the video. So now, let's start the show. And I have a great guest on for you today, and I'll be right back. I know you're there, God. Sometimes I feel alone, even when I'm not. All the troubles in the world, I think. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I just wanted to let everybody know if you have any issues with this stream, if like there's something that's not right, you're not hearing it right, just please put in the comments section so I'm aware of what's going on. Sometimes there's glitches and it doesn't work right. So just please let me know in the comments section if there's anything going on with the feed, and I will try to fix it. So thank you so much for coming on. I know I got some new people on here. The people that are watching me on Facebook, thank you so much. On YouTube, thank you. Twitter, wherever you're watching me from, I really appreciate your support tonight. So let's bring on my guest is coming on today. Let's bring Jean on. Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. So please introduce yourself to everyone. Tell them where you're from.
Yeah, my name is Gene Copley. I'm the drummer for 3 Days in the Grave, and I'm from Los Angeles, California.
That's really good. We're across the world, you know that, right? I'm in Florida. You're in California. That's pretty far distance.
Oh yeah,
How's the weather out there?
it's a little windy, cold. It rained for a few days out here, but now we just have clouds and it's pretty windy, but not too much, and a little cold. But
What's cold?
well, to us, cold is like I would say 50.
50, yeah. I'm
It,
same thing in Florida,
it
it's
usually
like,
gets it usually gets in like the 70s or 80s here, sometimes hotter than that. You know.
yeah, I have family out in California. They're in Northern California.
Nice, yeah.
So I know the weather is crazy like it is here actually.
Oh yeah.
So I've been looking forward to having you on because I know you're with the Christian rock band,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to ask you. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. I know you're a drummer with the band, right?
Yes.
Have you always been a drummer, or do you play any other instruments, or have you
Um,
played other instruments?
I've uh, played at different instruments, but I really just more lean to the drums. I don't know what it is, but like my family, a lot of people in my family do play instruments, but I just never really liked any of the instruments. I had the nagging to play the drums, and I just love it. I don't know. Maybe it's because I feel like I'm in control. I don't know, because being in a band, it's like, people just look at you as back there carrying the band. It's
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah, the drummer starts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's awesome. I just love it, and I just I mean I just feel like it's more of an exciting instrument because you're constantly moving, um, and you create the sound for the band, and that's what excites me.
Yeah, you play by ear?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a self-taught drummer. I'm one of those drummers that uh, I can hear a song a few times and I could pick it up and I could just play it. I don't never took lessons. Uh, I've watched other drummers perform. I've seen a lot of good drummers, and I take a lot of their ideas and just make it my own.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever uh wow, we got a lot of people from the ISSA on here. I have.
Mhm.
He's on the other computer, right?
Yeah, very popular, I guess.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's I always loved the drums. I mean, the guitar is my favorite instrument. That's why I learned how to play. And I'm self-taught also on the guitar. But I just love the drums. That's another passion of mine that I wanted to learn. And I tried a couple of times. I just couldn't get it right. But it's I think it's hard. It's hard at first when you learn, right? For the beat to get the
um,
beat
the What's hard is not so much the beat;
count.
it's knowing how to use your foot because you gotta. Uh,
Oh yeah.
a lot of drummers don't use this thing. I say you gotta like ignore what your foot is doing and concentrate on what your hands are doing, but still move your foot. It's a drummer term. I mean, only drummers understand what I'm talking about. Um,
Yeah.
but a lot of people that learn how to play drums, they don't know how to use their foot correctly. And if you're the snare drum and the bass drum are the two main things that keeps the beat. And
Mhm.
if you're off on one and you're keeping the beat on the other, most likely you're gonna throw off the other musicians. It's happened. So you got to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. Playing drums is not just like hitting the toms and
Yeah.
you got to learn how to use your foot and learn how to use the kick right. It's a lot of foot and hand coordination, and it takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some unbelievable drummers. I mean, from hearing the music, I hear you. I could tell you're really good. I could hear you playing, and especially rock with rock music. I mean, you really get a chance to show yourself, right?
I've been playing drums for a long time since I was like 13. Um, and I grew up in a lot of like 70s, 80s, but mostly 80s metal and rock and
Me
stuff.
too. Hmm.
Um, but I listened to a lot of Led Zeppelin growing up. A lot of 80s bands like Motley Crue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of I get a lot of ideas from them still because I still listen to them today, and that's why I play the way I do because I have a lot of they're my biggest influence in life when it came to music. You know.
Yeah. I try to. I don't listen to a lot of mainstream music anymore since I got into Christian music. I because I do what I did was not that there's anything wrong with that,
Mhm.
but I mean, if I do hear it on the radio, I'm gonna jam out to one of the songs I remember because it brings me back to my childhood. But but I stopped listening to a lot of it because I write my own music now, and
Mhm.
I try to. I have my own style, and that's how I get my fans because they like my style is different. So that's how, when you wind up with your own fans when you start creating or you have your
Right.
own style
You're
that
right.
people follow, right?
Right.
And that's why, I when I started listening to him, I was like, you know what? I love 80s rock and I love 80s. I
No,
love rock in general. And
best.
I says my voice fits this music, so maybe I can stay within the rock genre, but just do it with
Right.
Christianity, you know? And that's what you guys did
Hmm.
with your
We
band.
we're, we also listen to secular music, but not a lot. A lot of people need to understand that the Lord goes by what your heart is. I mean, if music is very powerful. It's how you. I mean, if you worship the music, then to me that's a sin. But like everybody has, something that they like in life. But we wanted to show people that you could listen and do Christian metal or Christian rock and still be a Christian. You don't have to just be like, praise and worship music. You can do other genres of music as long as it doesn't glorify Satan. You know what I mean? So we actually did that, and people love it. And we have a lot of people say, "Man, you guys are very dark for a Christian band. You guys are very dark for a Christian band." And we are very dark. Yeah, we have some stuff. What you're gonna play, we have darker stuff than that. But it's all Jesus. It all talks about Jesus. There's Jesus in our videos. There's nothing that glorifies Satan. It's all talks about Jesus. Because we don't, none of us are following Satan. None of us do anything like that. All of our music has a message to it, which is it actually catches a lot of people, and they love it. We have people telling us all the time, your music has helped me. Your music has made me think twice about, wondering if I want to be with the Jesus, you know what I mean? So people have said things like that to us, and then people actually gotten saved through our music.
That's great. That's great. That's what it's about, the message
Right,
that you're sharing, and like I said too, you have a lot of the younger generation that follows rock. They like metal. They like, so if we could bring them over from mainstream to listen to Christian rock, metal, whatever, it's the message that we have to, come across to them, because to bring that younger generation into us, if that's the type of music that they like.
right.
Um, so, that's what, a lot of us are doing. I mean, look at Skillet. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
you know what Skillet is.
That's what it is. Look at Striper. Striper is still
Right.
around.
People used to call me, a
Striper
friend of mine used to call me a Catholic
has
striper.
Striper has a lot of fans right now. They're like one of the most popular bands out there, and they're
I
still.
know. And they came back. Yeah, they're back. I don't know how old these
I
guys are,
remember,
but
I remember in the beginning they used to get laughed at. They used to laugh at them, mock them,
yep,
criticize them, but they still kept going, and now they're like one of the biggest bands out there today. Christian bands
yeah,
out
they
there today,
are.
very popular.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of there's a lot of there's a lot of Christian rock bands that are coming up. That's why I stayed
uh,
within the genre I was in, because there's not too many female Christian rock artists that are solo artists. So I wanted to stay where I was, because that's, I think, maybe why, I draw people in because of that. But,
right,
you're like what this show's about. Like I wanted Christian rock artists on, and there aren't too many around. So,
right.
I do have some coming up, but I'm glad to have you on today. And I wanted to ask you, so do you write music also? You do, right?
Um, I wrote a couple songs with Robert. Matter of fact, Mary Magdalene is co-written by me. Me and Robert wrote it. I wrote I wrote the majority of it, but he wrote a few parts, and then he wrote the last verse. But he wrote the
Hmm.
music, but the lyrics we wrote together. Me and Robert Tyler wrote it together.
Oh, that's good.
Mary Magdalene. Yeah, it was a project we were working on with another band, and then the band folded. So uh, we decided to bring the song back, but he said the person that wrote it really didn't make any sense the way they wrote it. So he just rewrote it to make it sound a little bit better, because me and the person wrote it together, but it didn't make any sense. So me and Robert wrote it. We actually rewrote the song to make it sound better. Is what I'm trying to
That's
say.
good. Do you
Yeah.
write the music for it too? You write the music?
Um, I would like to say I'm more of a composer. I don't really write music.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, it's the lyrics are really the most important part of the
Yeah.
song. I mean, you could put any kind of melody you want to a song, but it's a message that,
Right.
with Christian music, at least, I think that, I mean, that's what the whole thing is about. That's why people listen to Christian music, is to get the message, to hear
Mhm.
the message, I mean, you could listen to any other type of music, and a lot of music out there, like mainstream's about dumping your girlfriend and go, you know, doing things that don't apply to me, and that's not what I'm trying to get across to people, especially the younger generation.
What we're trying to do basically is we're trying to preach the word, but through music. But a lot of people, when they listen to secular music, a lot of them get depressed. They want to go to drugs or alcohol. But we want to let them know that that's not the way of life. That Jesus is the way, and you don't have to be perfect to be a Christian. We all make mistakes, and some people worship God through rap music. Some people worship God through Christian country music.
Hmm.
We just happen to do it through Christian metal. because we know what people like, and we played the Whiskey a Go Go several times, and we've had people say, "Man, you guys are dark for a Christian band. You guys are really dark, but we love it.
Yeah.
We love it." And they kept coming back because they liked it. They said it actually drew them. Our music drew them back to us, and that's what we like,
Listen, you're talking to a former metalhead, okay? I mean, before I started getting into this, I was at the Queen's Reich and Motley Crue and everybody else, so I understand who you're talking about.
All that stuff growing up. I seen them on the Sunset Strip. My girlfriend lived down the street from Vince Neil. We lived in Redondo Beach out here in California. I know those guys very well. I've seen a lot of bands. Guns N' Roses, I've seen them on the Sunset Strip. Seen them all,
well, where you live, you probably see everybody.
Back then though, you would see those guys like walking down. You don't see that no more, but you would see those guys walking down. Back in the 80s, you would see them walking up and down the street. You know what I mean? They were different. People are like, wow, who are those guys? They don't do that. You don't see that no more. It's not like that.
Let me play one of your songs right now. I'm going to play Gold Can't Buy first. So this song, did you write this one? Did you have any?
No, Robert wrote it. Robert wrote it. Yeah,
okay.
The first part of the bass line, that was Greg's idea. Greg wrote that part.
Okay. All right, we'll come back. This is Gold Can't Buy by 3 Days in the Grave. Wow, awesome. I
Uh-huh.
could hear you with the drums, man. You really rock it out.
That sounds very anointed. I was getting the little, the anointed chills on my body. Our stuff is very
So,
our stuff's very anointed. I mean, a lot of it's weird. It's crazy.
does Robert sing everything?
Um, he sings he sings a lot of it. There's a couple songs that Greg sings. There's a song that me and Robert sing on called Jesus Train. He'll sing the one part and I'll sing the other. So we pretty much share off the singing, but Robert sings
Mhm.
most of it. Yes, he's
Oh, he's
he's
the lead, right?
in the grave. Yeah, he's the main singer
Um,
for. Yeah.
yeah, that's good. I can't wait to play the next one. I'm just going to ask you a couple more questions. So you come highly recommended by our friend Imran. How did you guys meet?
Um, Funny story. I'll tell you. Well, he met my bass player first online, and I guess he was looking for a singer for a song, and he said, "I'll do it." So they did it, and so we collaborated on a few songs with him. And then in 2018, we got nominated for an award, 3 Days in Grave did. So we went to Nashville, and I
Hmm.
met I met Imran at the Josie Music Awards in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and um, I've known him for almost 10 years now. He's a good friend of mine. He's awesome
Yeah,
guy,
me.
great guitar player, very yeah.
Oh, he's incredible. He's
Yeah,
an incredible guitar player. I
he's a
sang on one of his tracks.
yeah, and
So he's,
he
yeah,
plays and he's a big fan of 3 Days in Grave as well.
yeah.
He actually likes their music. Yeah,
Yeah, well, you hear the way he plays? I mean,
yeah.
he's unbelievable, man. With
What
the
what
I like what
what
he does.
what can't he play? He was my son just got a keyboard last night. He was playing keyboards last night. I was like, dude, what can't you play? He's playing
Well,
keyboard.
some
He plays
people are just
bass.
blessed with that.
Yeah, he plays bass. I'm like, dude, what don't you play? He plays everything. But I guess that's a true musician for you, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially, I think a lot of musicians have it in them to probably learn everything if they wanted to. Musicians just the creativity. I
Well,
think you can probably learn anything. It's just that I'm learning the keyboard right now. It's very hard.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
it's hard. I'm learning to play the piano too, the piano, the keyboard,
I understand.
but it's hard. I mean, I'd have to take my time doing it, but I'm going to learn it. I'm determined.
I didn't know nothing about Imran when I first heard about him. I was kind of skeptical. I was like, why is a guy from Pakistan want to play music? Was he going to play sitar? I didn't know he played metal guitar. And then Greg was like, no, listen to this. So Greg played something. I was like, oh my God, this guy's phenomenal. I said, yeah, I'll love to be in one of his videos. But I really thought he only played sitar. I had no idea who the guy was. But
I
he's
met him at the ISSA. That's how I met him.
I met him at the Josie Music Awards in 2018. He's a great guy, man. I mean, he's like a real good friend of mine. I really love the dude, and
Yeah,
I enjoy working with him. I really do.
yeah, he's a lot of fun to work with. He is to collaborate. So, speaking of collaborating, I heard you have something you want to tell everybody.
Yes, for everybody, this is big news for um, everybody. Me, Emron, and my bass player are putting a project together. It's in the works right now. We already have our singer. The name of the band is called Light in the Darkness. Um, it's all the songs have a message. It's not real preachy like 3 Days in Grave stuff, but all the songs have a message. Our lead singer is name's Natasha. She has a great voice. First thing she told us was, "I won't sing nothing if it glorifies the devil." And that's we said, "Okay, that's you're in because that's what we want." And we have our first gig already lined up. We haven't even practiced yet, but we got our first gig already lined up at Hard Rock Cafe. So yeah, we have a new project coming out. So look out for that. It's called Light in the Darkness.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
you're not going to be with 3 Days in the Grave
No,
anymore?
no, I'm still with 3 Days in the Grave. What the thing is, all of us are venturing out. Greg has a solo project. Plus, he's in another band too.
Hmm.
Plus, he's in a Black Sabbath tribute band he does once a year. So, and then my guitar player Robert, he does acoustic stuff. So we're all trying to. We're not leaving 3 Days in the Grave. We want to venture out and do.
Yeah.
We want to make a name for ourselves. So people won't just know us as, oh, you guys are just in 3 Days in the Grave. We want to be known as the guys from 3 Days of Grave to play with other musicians. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah,
want
I
to.
know a lot of bands do that. A lot of band
Yeah.
members do that.
Sometimes you get burnt out of the same thing.
Yes.
I'm not saying I'm burnt out of my band, because I love my band, I love my bandmates, but sometimes you get burnt out and you want to do new things. You know what I mean? And so with Imran being here, he's got some good ideas, and he asked me if I would play with him, and I said, yeah, I'll play with you. And he likes the way I play my drums. He loves it, and I give credit to God. It's not me. To me personally, I don't know how to play. God plays through me.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever talent I got came from Him anyway. So we have 3 songs already. We're going to be doing 2 originals and 1 cover. We're going to be doing that. We have our first gig. It's going to be at the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, but we don't have a
Wow.
date. We don't have a date yet, because we have to get the songs practiced, and we want to be perfect. We don't want to go on there with half stuff. So yeah.
Speaking of 3 Days in the Grave, when did you join that band? Did you
I've
put it
been
together with them, or you just joined when they were already
no.
together?
Okay, here's a story behind 3 Days in the Grave. I've known Robert Tyler since 1985. He's a good friend of mine, my whole life, and he was looking for a drummer back then, and we messed around and didn't go nowhere. So we lost contact with one another, and then back in 2000, he found me again, and we started doing acoustic coffee shop gigs. We weren't even doing rock and roll yet, and and we were a totally different band. And we were called Zoe Now, but no one knew what Zoe Now meant. You know what I mean? So when we started doing rock and roll, it was back in 2006 or 2007. We decided, hey, let's do some rock and roll. So we formed 3 Days in the Grave. So 3 Days in the Grave 3 Days in the Grave has actually been a band since 2006. But me and Robert's been doing music since 2000.
Wow.
I've known him since I was 16, since 85. So that's like about 40 years now I've known him. But 3 Days of Grave has been around since 2006. We've been through several bass players. We finally found the guy that fits. But before the pandemic, we were playing everywhere. We were gigging like every month, twice a month sometimes. We played the Whiskey A Go-Go. We've headlined it twice. I've opened up for a lot of famous people. I mean, a lot of famous musicians from the 80s and and beyond that. So
it's great.
And we're just trying to get back up there again, the pandemic, and then we just, with life and stuff and things happen, and sometimes, we just take a break for a while, and get things back. But now we're trying to get back up there. So hopefully this will help us out,
Yeah, I hope so. I'm gonna play your next song, Mary Magdalene. I'll play this one, and then we'll come back, and I have another question to ask you. I'll be right back.
Jesus has 7
You like that, huh?
Hold on, I had to unmute myself. Yeah,
You
that
like
was pretty
that.
cool at the ending. Yeah, I like that. That was good. That was a good song. It's
Yeah,
I'm bringing me back to the 80s.
yeah, I wrote that. I wrote that song because, well, we wrote it because a lot of people don't know that women were important in the Bible, and they think the women weren't really that special to God, but we had to show them that Mary Magdalene was the first to see Jesus when he rose, and she was very special. And so we wrote that in honor of women to let them know that you are special to God. No matter what
Well,
people say.
Mary, the
Mary
Blessed
was,
Mother,
yeah, yeah,
Mary is his mother. She's the
but
first one.
yeah, but Mary Magdalene, she was the prostitute. God forgave her, Jesus forgave
I
her.
know.
So that's what the song is really about. But we, a lot of a lot of people think that women weren't that important to God, but yeah, yes, they were. And Mary Magdalene was a perfect, and Jesus' mother and Mary Magdalene were the two perfect examples of how important women were to God back in the day. Because
Hmm.
he used Mary Magdalene to go tell his disciples that he has risen. You know,
Yep.
yeah.
Some people believe she was actually like a distant disciple, but
Um,
they
I
were all men. So, but
I heard that too, but I don't. No one really knows because we weren't around back in the Bible days. We don't know what but all I know is that very, she was very evil. Very, she was a prostitute, and God cast the demons out of her, and he uh, he forgave her and told her to go sin no more. And then it's just a perfect example of how God just doesn't. He looks at us with like we're perfect to him. You know what I mean? But we know we're not. But like to him, we're perfect. And
well, I mean, that's what he's for. I mean, none of us are perfect. He's the only one that's perfect.
right.
We can't. So that's why we need Jesus because none of us are perfect.
But we're us as humans, as sinners, we're not perfect. But
No,
Jesus looks at us as perfect. You know what I mean? But we still got to ask for forgiveness because
of
we,
course.
we sin, and we can't have sin in our heart and go to heaven because without repenting, that God won't let a sinful heart into heaven. So
Well, I want to ask you another question. When did you decide to turn your life over to Christ?
I was very young, but I got baptized at the age of 13. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. Um, And but when I went to high school and I fell away a little bit, I was chasing girls. I would hang out with all the girls, and then I came back to the Lord when I was like 18, and I've been a Christian ever since. Um, God has blessed me so with many things, and He always lets me know He's there, and I don't have to be perfect for Him to hear me or talk to me. But yeah, I got baptized at a very young age. My mom really kept her hand on me. She really made sure I went to church. Um, because she used to tell me, I want you to know Jesus just in case I pass away. I want you to have Jesus in your heart. And so she's passed away now, but I used to always say, why she making me go to church? But now I look at myself now and how I was then. And, you know, I, my niceness, my kindness, for people is comes from Jesus. And I tell people all the time, because the way I grew up, and my family was they were believers, but they weren't following the Lord. But I tell people all the time, if I wasn't a Christian, I'd either be dead or in prison right now. You know what I mean? Because I had such a bad childhood. Um, my mom found Jesus when she was a little bit older, so that's why I became a Christian when I was 13. But I grew up in a house, very drugs, alcohol, all kinds of stuff. What went on in my house as a child. So I really didn't know really nothing about Jesus till I turned like 13. Oh,
That's great. And now look what you're doing. You're
yeah,
trying to spread the message and help people also that I'm sure were in the same situation you were in growing up that doesn't know God or didn't know God. And now
yeah,
you're trying to, show them. And, you're a perfect example, of that, of how God works in our lives. If
you know,
if if we're obedient to him
I
and
have a
he
quick, I
us.
have a quick story if I could tell you really quick. I don't know. God's telling me to say this. Back in 2000, when my kid's mom left, I became homeless, and I lost everything because I couldn't work because I needed someone to watch my kids. I couldn't afford a babysitter, and I lost my house, my car. I ended up sleeping on the bus for a few days with my kids, not knowing what my next meal is going to be. Then I had to go to the shelter, and I still remained faithful to God. And so God told me that He's going to pull me out of it. And I had to go through 2 years of hell. But in the end, I got a bigger place. Uh, God has blessed me with three beautiful kids. Um, he's still there with me, and you know I tell people I'm like the watered down version of Job. I lost everything, had nothing, but I still remained faithful to God, and God gave me back twice what I had. He gave me my money. I have money now. I didn't have money before. I have a bigger place, bigger than I've ever had before. Um, and for that reason, you know, um, someone that's out there that needs to hear this, if you have doubts, or if you have anything in your heart that you feel that Jesus don't love you, well, just pray and ask Him. Say, Lord, show me, and He will show you. And if you're homeless or if you don't have a place, if you have faith in Jesus and you believe in Jesus, and sometimes we go through things, and God uses that to test us, see how loyal we're going to be. But in the end, your your rewards will be very good if you remain faithful to the Lord and just seek Him and never turn your back on Him. God
Wow.
God told me to say that to somebody. I don't know why, but He just told me I need to
No,
say.
thank you. Thank you. That's a beautiful testimony as to how God works. And this is what I want people to do. I want them to be able to speak freely without criticism or fear of what people are going to say. I want you to be able to speak that because you don't know who you just touched right now and who you just
God,
helped.
God just told me to say that, and I had to say it. It was because He asked me. He said someone needs to hear that. So that's why I said that, because I feel someone needs to hear that. So if that person's out there and I touched your heart, well, that was the Lord talking to you, and He wanted me to tell you that He loves you, and just stay in constant prayer and just seek Him and trust Him, and your rewards will come back on you. He never
Well, you're
leave.
living proof.
He'll never leave you nor forsake you. Just remember that. It may sometimes life may be hard, and you feel like you're at the end of your ropes, but just know Jesus is always there. God's always there to pick you up.
That's great. That's great to hear that. I'm so happy for you that, that you found your way thanks to the Lord and
Oh,
thanks to you giving your life to him. And that's what, you know, that's great because that's what I want people to hear that maybe, have never turned a life over to God, to Jesus. And, and they know that we are living examples of that, of how you suffer from something in life, no matter what it is, mental, physical pain, any spiritual pain, any kind of pain. You turn your life over to him and let him guide you. Let him come into your heart and show you the way. And he
right.
and he will definitely bless you with
Right.
obedience. With obedience is he blesses you, and then you're helping somebody else.
Yeah, and people, Christianity is not a religion. I mean, it's not a religion; it's a relationship with the Lord.
Of
A
course.
lot of religions expect you to be perfect. A lot of religions, and I'm not putting down a religion. I'm just saying, but with Jesus, you don't got to be perfect because He paid the price for you. All you got to do is just ask Him in your heart and trust Him and believe in Him, and He will be there. He will, if you're feeling sad or depressed, spend a few minutes with God, pray, and I'm telling you, He will talk to you. He will lift you out of whatever you're going through in life.
Well, a
And
lot of people are afraid to speak about their faith in public because they're afraid of criticism. And,
boy,
you're on a pedestal. You got to remember once you profess your faith in public like that, you're like a target, not sort of like, we're out there and people are going to say, well, you say the wrong thing. All of a sudden, you're not supposed to be saying that because you're a Christian. We're also human beings.
Well, we all say things we're not supposed to
We
say.
all sin every day of our lives. That's why we need Jesus. So we're not perfect just because we do this and we talk about God all the time and we sing and profess our faith doesn't mean we're perfect.
Right. We all fall. We all sin and fall short of the glory of God. None of us are perfect.
Also,
None of us deserve to go to heaven. But God,
no.
Jesus, God is so amazing that He just wants you to just accept Him and trust Him. Everything else, and when you stand before Him, you say, Lord, well, I did this. Did what? You didn't do nothing. He doesn't see it no more. And just if you do sin and you feel bad about it, just repent. And
Yeah, well, you don't want to hear go away from me. I never
oh,
knew you.
yeah, and you don't want to, and Lisa made a good point. Don't listen to what people say about you. If you're a Christian, okay, admit it, because those people there, they have to stand before God. If they put you down for your beliefs, they got to stand before God for that. They're gonna have to stand in judgment for that. You just keep walking in your faith and walking in your spirit, and if you just want to praise the Lord, and if someone says, "Oh, you're funny because you're praising God," or "Oh, don't praise God because He's not real." I mean, look at the earth, man. These trees and everything, these birds, these animals, they all came from somewhere, you know. And you and we were all made in God's image anyway. So it's like, so don't care what people think about you. I mean, I get criticized all the time. Oh, you're in the Christian band. Oh, you're funny. You guys are stupid with those hats on. You guys shouldn't be Christian playing that kind of music. I went to a church one time and we were doing that kind of music at a pastor's party, and he was a big metalhead. And the guy said, "You guys are singing devil music," just because of the music. So see, I get criticized too. Playing my. Sometimes I do. Sometimes people criticize me, or sometimes they like it, but I still keep going. I don't let people's emotions bother me with what I believe, because they didn't die on the cross for me. Last I looked, they couldn't walk on water or raise the dead. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So you just have to just keep pushing on. Don't let nobody get you down or anything, because to God, to Jesus, you're perfect, and He loves you no matter what you're doing, or no matter what you've done. Just He knows your heart, and just take one step ahead of you and just keep your head up and keep praying.
Amen. Amen to that. I want to thank you so much for coming on.
You're
What
welcome.
what a great testimony, and I really hope that this is going to be shared everywhere. So somebody somewhere is gonna, I know, hear this and is going to appreciate it. And you never know how many people will look for Jesus and start following God because of this. So I want to thank you so much for coming on. Just real quick, just tell everybody where they could find you and your music.
Um, well, we're on Spotify. It's the number 3 Days in the Grave. We're on YouTube as well. Apple Music, iTunes. Um, we have there's a thing called Reverb Nation. We're on there. They can find us
Mhm.
on there as well. If you want to know anything about 3 Days in the Grave, we're working on a website right now, but we do have a personal Facebook page. A lot of information about 3 Days in the Grave is on there, and I have my own. So you could, if you want to know anything about the band, you can DM me, or you could just leave a message and whatever. But you can find us on those platforms. And
Okay. Thank you so much, Gene. I really appreciate you coming on. And
but I do want to say that we have a show coming up. If anybody's here in the LA area, we're going to be at the Long Beach Rescue Mission, performing there with a few other bands for the homeless people, and they're giving away food. So if you have nowhere to go this Thanksgiving and you need to be with people, I'm not sure the address, but it's called the Long Beach Rescue Mission. It's in the city of Long Beach. So everybody's welcome. Bring your family.
that's
Um,
great.
and they'll give you food.
Well, that's good. That's really good to do for people. So many people that have no place to go on
Right.
Thanksgiving. But that's good. I'm going to pray for you and your band and for your new band that you're starting. And I hope everything works out for you. And maybe you could come back again next year, sometime, and talk about what's new in your life and everything.
Yeah.
So just
I like that. I like that.
okay. Thank you so much. To have a blessed Thanksgiving and
You too.
Merry Christmas also. And keep in touch. I'll talk to
Well,
you.
I will. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed that show as much as I did. I was really touched by that, and just look if you really like their music. I know some people aren't into heavy rock or anything like that, but if you are, just listen to the message. That's the most important part. And look up 3 Days in the Grave, and you hear the unbelievable drummer that Gene is, and hear the music that I played tonight. Um, I just want to say real quick, let me show you the dogs again that I have from Open Hands Animal Rescue. They are really struggling right now to try to help these dogs that they haven't rescued. They are really over budget. I mean, they really need donations desperately. And these dogs, this is Smiley. And Smiley is a 5-year-old male Rottweiler. I've been showing him every week. And if you're in the Florida area or even not in the Florida area and you would like him, we could have him sent to you. They have travel available. He really is a sweet dog, and I really can't believe he hasn't been adopted yet. But this is Bean. She's a female. Here's another picture of her. She's a 5-year-old female Rottweiler, and don't have too much info on her, but I know that she's a sweetheart also and really needs a home. And this is Bella. She's another one. She's another sweetie. She's a year-old female Rottweiler. She's also needs a home. If you have it in your heart and you would like to donate to Open Hands Animal Rescue, openhandsanimalrescue.org. You can also send it through Zelle. You could go on their website, Open Hands Animal Rescue, and you could donate with a credit, debit card, anything you want. If you just like to send them a few dollars to help them out. They do so many things for the animals, not just in Central Florida. They have equine too. They do things with horses also. So they're a very, very good organization. And I'm so blessed to be involved with them. So if you have any other questions about that, you could contact me. If you have any questions, I can answer questions for you also. Don't forget, next week, my podcast is going to be a live music show. It won't be a podcast next week, but I will have 2 guests on. I'm going to have John Benko and Terry Delp on for the 4 persons. We're going to talk about Advent, the meaning of Advent, discuss it. I'm going to sing some live music before they come on. And then I have on the 7th of December, I have Beverly Hall. She is a Christian author. She's going to be on. She's also a podcast host, and I think she's a producer. Nancy Winning. No, Beverly Hall is a Christian contemporary artist. She is country Christian. Nancy Winningham is the author. She's going to be on the 14th. And then the 21st is my Christmas concert live right here. I'm doing all Christmas, contemporary, traditional Christmas music live for you right here on the 21st of December. I have the 28th of December open right now. If you would like to be a guest on my show and you're watching this and you loved what you hear and you want to be a part of it and you would like to be a part of this, to tell your testimony, talk about your faith and your music or your business, author, whatever you want to talk about, contact me, send me a message, and we could get you on the show. I really want to say this real quick because I'm really excited about this. January 10th, I am going to have award-winning Catholic rock band, The Thirsting, is going to be on my show. Daniel, the lead singer, will be coming on for an interview, and I am so excited about this because they are Catholic rock. They're rock artists, and that's what they do. And they have great music, and I'm sure a lot of people know who they are. And they were going to be coming on January 10th. So that's all I have to say for tonight. Don't forget, join me 6 p.m. next week for my live Advent concert and my show. I want to thank everybody on Facebook and YouTube that's watching this. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on and for also supporting my music and the music of all these artists that are on here. I am going to leave you with a song that was re-recorded. I had this song put out. I wrote it back in 2020, but it was released on one of my albums in 24. This is called I Cry Out to You, Lord. And just like Jean was saying, it's about the song. It's about reaching people. I really hope that this song really can get to somebody that really needs it right now, that needs help physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I really hope that this song touches you. So until next week, God bless you. Enjoy the song. And by the way, have a happy Thanksgiving. God bless everyone. A happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you next week.